former Deputy Assistant Secretary of State in the Obama administration. Joel, good morning to you. Wonderful to see you.
Tracy.
Let's start with how Harris kind of navigated this at the DNC, which is to say they didn't broke any of it. And in fact, when Susan Rice was talking with my colleague Jake Tapper about the uncommitted faction, they were delegates who were uncommitted to initially Biden, but also Harris. And she basically said, OK, it's a little bit rich that people who are not committing to Harris want a piece of the stage at her convention. But it seemed very clear to me they wanted to send a strong message that they were not sort of engaging in this, really, while at the same time making sure that she took a tone in her own speech that was different from where Biden was on this. How did you look at all of that?
Yeah, I think that the vice president has shown a strong vision for how to resolve this current war, a call for a ceasefire exchange for hostages, a strong argument for supporting Israeli security, as well as for Palestinian self-determination, ultimately two-state solution. It's hard to understand what more people could want out of a presidential candidate. That was the most forward-leaning speech I've ever seen at a convention, and I think the crowd responded. The crowd responded as well to her calls for Israeli security. And the folks pushing uncommitted also had a lot of behind-the-scenes engagement with the campaign. They had official events at the DNC. They were in touch directly. They did move the needle on much of the rhetoric. So that's a win. Take the win. I'm not sure why they're not saying we support you, and now we're ready to do more. It seems like a little bit of an own goal, quite frankly.
Joel, how do you think what we're seeing play out between Israel and Hezbollah right now is going to impact kind of the overall situation, the politics here?
Yeah, Casey, look, the problem here is that while the politics seem stable for the moment on the messaging and the vision, we don't control the actions of all the groups in the region, obviously. Hezbollah has a couple 100,000 rockets pointed at Israel. Israel took preemptive strikes, trying to demonstrate the ability to strike those. And that could quite literally blow up the whole diplomatic process. So it's going to just be this way. It's going to be a tinderbox, ongoing, and there's going to be a lot of sort of whack-a-mole diplomacy alongside political messaging. And I think almost on a daily basis, we're going to have to see the team of the vice president, as well as obviously Donald Trump, reacting to on-the-ground events, because we don't control them, and there are a lot of spoilers right now in the region.
When you watch that Trump ad very briefly, what do you see there?
I see a lot of misinformation. I see him attacking Joe Biden for getting out of Afghanistan, then claiming that he got us out on Iran. He blew up a nuclear deal that made the region less safe. He clearly wants to leverage some gaps. There is violence in the Middle East. You can't put that at the feet of Joe Biden. You put that at the feet of the people committing the violence. And there's a president in the White House trying to resolve it and calm it down. Donald Trump would look the other way and the chaos would spread. So what we have right now is a lot of political gamesmanship on foreign policy. That's a good argument, I think, for the vice president. She'll be able to make pushback. And clearly Trump sees this as an area that he wants to explore.
Right. Joel Rubin, thank you very much. Always grateful to have you. Appreciate it.